Welcome back, everyone. Today we will be discussing the Jordan 1 A Ma Maniere. Specifically, we will be discussing some release info, how to cop, and of course, some resale predictions at the end of the video. The Jordan 1 A Ma Maniere releases on November 24th. Retail is $200 for men's sizes, so just a little higher than what we normally see for Jordan 1s, but obviously this won't matter. Preschool are $80, toddler are $60, and stock between all sizes combined worldwide is under 20,000 pairs. For Jordan 1, or any Jordan for the matter, this of course is extremely low. However, it is around the same stock that we just saw on the Jordan 3 Maniere back in the summer. If you guys recall, that drop was a manual cookout on the Shopify site, and I do expect this one to be as well. These are certainly the best kinds of drops, and I'll discuss why that is soon. Regarding resale, we will cover that towards the end of the video, as always, but I'll just tell you now, it's looking amazing. With the release info out of the way, let's jump right into how to cop these Jordan 1 A Ma Manieres. To begin with, the absolutely best chance you'll have of copying these, and a really good chance if you're prepared, is through A Ma Maniere themselves on the 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. First, they did do a raffle for the in-store release, which was announced on their Instagram, but I'm actually referring to their online release. If you've been going for the collabs recently on Shopify sites, you know how big of a cook these types of releases are for manual users. Now, why is this? Well, for those of you who may not be familiar with new domain releases, which have become exponentially more popular on Shopify retailers during 2021, it's essentially the way that most retailers have been dropping their very large collabs in order to combat bots, and it has been extremely effective for very simple reasons. Just like the first Jordan 1 Union drop in 2018, essentially these Shopify sites have been creating new domains where they actually load the products and all the stock. However, they keep this new domain private until the drop is actually live, essentially keeping it a secret. This allows for manual users to cook really hard on these drops because the botters will hypothetically have to copy and paste the new domain into their custom Shopify module, which takes a couple of seconds in itself. Hence, most people just end up going manual on these drops since bots don't really offer any advantage for them, especially when there's a question that you have to answer on top of that too. This is precisely what A Ma Maniere did for the Jordan 3 drop, hence I am fully confident that they will be doing the exact same thing for the Jordan 1, just with a new domain. Okay, now you understand it. They drop on a new secret website domain. What kind of tips do you have for actually copying though when this occurs? Step 1 is to definitely follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10 and personals for you. When a product does go live, I will tweet out the link with the new domain for you guys, and you could also feel free to refresh the normal A Ma Maniere domain. Essentially what they'll do there is they'll have a password page up, and when the password page goes down, once you refresh from that, you'll be able to see a quick link that you're able to click, and after you click that link, it'll redirect you to the new domain. When you first open the site, you should see a couple of different products depending on if they drop merch or not. Otherwise, you'll at least see the preschool and toddler sizes. Make sure you, of course, click on the men's size. From here, you should now expect to have to answer a question. Be ready to either Google or just answer a very simple question. For example, sometimes they ask what color is an orange, which obviously we all know an orange is purple. Be ready to enter that in as fast as you can. Sometimes they might ask you to spell something. It's usually very simple, but just have Google ready just in case it's an A Ma Maniere history related question. Sometimes retailers like to do that too. Then you will get a checkpoint captcha. Now, although you won't be able to get a one-click captcha when it comes to these checkpoints, unfortunately, I strongly suggest that you log into your browser on a very active Gmail account before the drop. This way you don't get those fading captchas from reCAPTCHA that take 30 seconds to solve. However, they also might not use reCAPTCHA. Instead, they might use HCAPTCHA, and if this is the case, I have another tip for you guys. So with these HCAPTCHA, you'll typically have to drag a square in order to fit what they're telling you to. So if they say drag the square over the airplane, you'll have to do that. Now, when doing this, a lot of people tend to get looped and they can't get out of the loop, and it takes them a while to solve the CAPTCHA. What you have to do when it comes to these is actually kind of counterintuitive to what you might imagine. You actually have to do this really slow in order to avoid the loop. For some reason, when I do them very quickly, I'll get constantly looped. However, if you take your time and go very slow and cautious with it, you'll be able to solve it very quickly. Also, try to keep the square as tight as possible to the image without actually going over it. So after this point, you'll now be waiting in queue. After queue, the checkout process is quite self-explanatory. If you have access to an autofill extension that not only autofills but also completes the entire checkout process for you, make sure you guys take advantage of that. An example for this would be passive autofill. This is something we provide to all Endurance members. members for completely free. If you guys have access to something like this, be sure you of course take advantage, as it is much more than just an autofiller and will greatly expedite your checkout process. For example, Endurance members got over 200 Jordan 3 Manieres over the initial drop manually with passive autofill, and this doesn't even include the restocks or unlocked checkouts, which was closer to 300. So yeah, this definitely does come in handy. If you do not have access to one or intend on purchasing one, at the very least, I highly implore you guys to please set up your Chrome autofill. This is definitely the best last resort you could have. Now, aside from the A Ma Maniere drop, we also have a few other opportunities. The next best chance will certainly be Nike sneakers, which is actually going to be on December 3rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, what's the most efficient way to cop off of Nike sneakers manually? These are currently loaded as a Dan drop, which they have been doing much more frequently as of recently. Dan drops are also known as draws. You essentially just have 10 minutes to enter in as many of your accounts as possible into the raffle. Evidently, the more you can enter within that period, the better your chance will be. I actually made a full in-depth video, which I'd highly suggest watching because there is much more to it. If you guys need to make more accounts, remember, Nike does require SMS verification, and you can't use the same phone number twice, so you will have to ask a friend of yours to use their phone number and then use their verification code. However, if you'd rather not bother your friends, or you just want a significant amount of pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts, feel free to check out my website, TARS. The link for that is in the description below for pre-verified Nike sneakers and Adidas accounts. And finally, we may also potentially be seeing some boutiques dropping these, although at the moment I can't confirm this just yet. The vast majority of them anyways will just be raffles if they even do get pairs. Regardless, you won't have much of a chance at all on these if they get any, of course. So in conclusion, you have a great chance to manually cop these on the A Ma Maniere drop, and then you also have another decent chance to get these via Nike sneakers on the 3rd, but of course Nike sneakers is just going to be completely luck based. That's no fun. When it comes to A Ma Maniere though, it's all about speed. Make sure you guys are watching my Twitter, KeithAdam10 and Personals for You, so you guys do get that link as fast as possible. With the head of cop out of the way though, now let us move into the resale predictions portion of the video. Currently, demand is absolutely insane for these, even more so than what we saw in the Jordan 3s, which was already very high in itself. On top of this, just like 3s, the stock is very, very low, especially for a Jordan. Even though retail is slightly higher than most Jordans at $200, regardless, these will still be extremely profitable with an incredible margin. Full throttle on these without a doubt. Anyways, that will conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two, subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all hyped releases. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers or Adidas accounts. Also, follow Endurance's Twitter for updates on restocks or key giveaways, and the same goes for Gargantua if you want to keep up with the progress or restocks. Last but not least, make sure to follow KeithAdam10 and Personals for You. This way you guys stay updated on all the urgent info like I was discussing with the links today. With that, I will see you guys later. Fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck.